So DLF TV is really about that creativity and that process of creativity for that artists of all types. It doesn't just have to be musicians, but experience. Can you tell us a little bit about your process of creativity?
Uh-huh, yeah. For me, creativity is always a thing that I feel like isn't completely in my control. I feel like whether it's something I draw or write or sing or whatever, it usually just comes from nowhere and pops into my head. And I usually try to figure out some way to capture that initial idea because a lot of times um, something that I want to work on will pop in at the worst time. So I'll have to just grab my cell phone and record it real quick or jot a note down. And then I usually will take that initial idea and go home and work on it and try to figure out how I can turn it into something real. And usually the ideas are a lot different. Sometimes it'll just be like a couple notes, or sometimes it'll be like a line, or sometimes it'll be lots of lines and drums and strings and horns and everything that you could imagine coming in. It's always just kind of a different thing.
When you play, do you feel like you get into a zone or a different state of being sometimes?
That's the goal, yeah. Because when things are good, they don't really exist. For me, when we're playing a show, if it's a great show, I close my eyes and strike a chord, and it all turns into noise. And then I open my eyes, and it's over, and I'm walking off the stage, and 3 hours have passed. When it's a bad show, I'm like paying attention to how my guitar sounds bad or how the monitor sounds bad. You're so
You're
aware of
aware.
everything. So I think it's the same way with creating. If you're in a zone and you're working on something at home in a quiet place, you're just lost to all of time and space. But if the dog's barking or the phone's ringing or stuff's going wrong, you're like, it's hard to concentrate because you're fixated on all the little details.
I know that you do different types of meditation and you're very interested in that. And do you feel that when you meditate you have that same feeling sometimes of being in that zone?
Sometimes it's just the same as anything else, really. It's like sometimes I'll sit down and meditate, and it just won't happen. There's just too much going on. I can't focus. I can't get my mind to quiet. But even that's the one thing I've learned about meditation that I think is really great is even those days when you feel like you're not meditating right or whatever, and nothing's happening, that's still good just to sit there and just to make yourself be quiet and get some peace and quiet and just deal with what's going around in your head because you can start to kind of figure out the patterns a little bit and try and deal with them a little bit better.
What advice do you have for our generation, really, of people who are going out there trying to make it? You've obviously been really successful in what you do. What would you tell people who are creating at this very moment?
I would just say really believe in yourself because I think there's a fine line where you have to believe in yourself, especially in the beginning, because nobody else is going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. And it's not an egotistical thing, but I guess you just have to find a way to really believe in what you're doing and really love it and really have fun with it and don't let anybody tell you that it's not going to work or it's the wrong thing to do because I really believe, I forget there's some story or something, like The Alchemist or something, just like if you follow your true nature, life will help you along the path to get to where you're supposed to go. And I feel like if you are an artist that wants to create and you've got things coming through your head, even if you put them out there at first and you're unsure about them and people are like, that's horrible, as long as you believe in yourself and you keep doing it and you keep having fun, I think that there's a path to really fulfill yourself, to find fulfillment with your art or your music or whatever.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you're performing Change Begins Within, this concert, these legendary artists. How excited are you?
It's insane. It's an honor. I can't even believe it's some heavy hitters.
So tell us a little bit about the songs you'll be playing at the concert.
Well, I'm lucky enough to get to play with Donovan, which is really cool. We covered Where Your Love Like Heaven. I guess it's been probably 7 or 8 years ago now on a tribute to Donovan compilation that we did. And I've always liked Donovan's music because I like the surreal aspect of it. And a song like Where Your Love Like Heaven is almost like you're singing a painting. You're just singing all these colors and all these sounds. And when you listen to the recording, the soundscape is just as important as the notes or the words. And a lot of the words you can't even understand what he's saying, but the way he says them is so beautiful. And the whole projection of the thing is just this thing I've always been a fan of and felt a certain kinship with in my music because I feel like lots of times I just want to paint this thing and I don't even know what it is. I'm not even trying to tell you anything in particular. I'm just trying to get this stuff out, and I feel like Donovan had a really beautiful way of doing that with the song. So we're doing Wear Your Love Like Heaven and Hurdy Gurdy Man, which Hurdy Gurdy Man was another song when I was a kid. We were in the garage, and somebody plugged a mic into an amp with tremolo on it, and we started doing so it's amazing to get to.
When did you get to meet Donovan?
I just met him today at the press conference.
Oh,
He
great.
was really friendly. I got a great message from him. He called me to just say he was looking forward to it, and is such a friendly guy, such a presence. It was cool to get a message from Donovan.
Great. Well, we're really excited for tomorrow. And
Yeah, I am too.